Well, good morning, gang. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location, but I will tell you it is the calm before the storm. Had a week where the family and I went out to see some other family, and we're on the East Coast. And the exciting thing is, I don't know why this happens, but when I go on vacations, apparently that's where the hurricanes go. This has happened multiple times. It doesn't matter where. If there's a beach, apparently there's a storm. So we're going to try that on and see how it goes. But not to worry, everybody. We've sort of been through this game before, and we're well provisioned and prepared. It did get me thinking, though. It's interesting, storms, they come and they go in life. And as investors, I think there's an analogy that we can take away from the concept of the storm. That does it mean that I won't come back to the beach because there's a storm? Certainly not. Love the beach. In fact, the beach that I'm at here, been coming to this beach for over 30 years. I came here as a kid. Now I'm bringing my kids here, and maybe someday they'll do the same. But things have changed, right? The beach itself is still the beach, but there's different homes and hotels and restaurants. Over 30 years, a lot of things change. But the basic idea of coming here and playing and having a good time, yeah, that's really unchanged. Investing is like that. And I think it's it's a neat analogy because over 30 years of coming to this beach, back 35 years probably. And when you think about investing, it's that kind of long-term idea. There have been good visits and bad visits. Now there's a stormy visit, right? We're here. Yesterday was beautiful and sunny. I got a sunburn. But today we may be spending a lot of time in the condo and watching the storm. We've taken appropriate steps to be safe. We actually got some provisions, water, that sort of stuff. And again, this is very much how I think we should think about our investing. That our time horizon matters. First of all, it's a long-term time horizon, and there's going to be storms. Today, how could we find something more relevant? Think about all the chaos around us between politics and the pandemic and so forth. There's a lot of stuff. It's a storm. It's a storm. And some folks have come to me and they've been very nervous, and rightfully so. I've talked about things like structural problems, jobs that have been lost that will never come back, a government that has tried to intervene. Whether you agree with it or not, there's been tons of money that's been sort of invented and poured into different areas of the economy. There have been winners and there have been losers. Okay, but what I have to believe at the end of the day is some really basic principles. This is like the beach, right? The basic principles that don't change are, we all have to eat. It sounds funny, but that's the economic starting point, right? Everybody requires this ongoing nourishment cycle, and so we got to grow the food, and then you got to get the tools and implements to help make the food grow, and then you got to get the things that support that, and there's this whole chain of logistics that then becomes very exotic, all the way to the electronic manufacturer that allows me to hold a device in my hand and walk on the beach and talk to you, and then share this thousands of miles away with my staff so that they can help support the process of getting this out here so that we can communicate together. So there's this incredible chain of logistics and people, and that's not going to go away. Even though there's a storm, even though things may change, right? The different restaurants, the different houses, even the changing shoreline from tide to tide and from storm to storm. The principles aren't really changing, just the little bits and pieces along the way. So my challenge for everybody today is to think about your time horizon and what it means to be an investor. When there are storms and when you get nervous, the temptation is to shorten the time horizon. All of a sudden it becomes a worry right now, right this second, and we lose sight of the goalpost, or at least the next marker that's in the distance, right? Investing is a long-term game. And when we start getting short-term, we shift into a speculator's mentality. There's a lot more danger in that too. So I ask you this question. In all of the chaos that is today, do you believe that in 5 years we'll be worse off? The companies will be gone, that the job that you may or may not have won't exist anymore? And the answer may be yes to certain industries. But if you believe that the entire economy is going to be gone, and that the US dollar will be gone, and that we will have no system of government or roads or infrastructure, any of that, well, that's a pretty extreme position. I don't take it. I think the odds are that we're not in the Mad Max world. I think we are in a world that continues to evolve, but much like the beach, many of the principles will remain unchanged. We'll just see a little bit of a shifting landscape around us. So that was my thought as I'm on vacation. Just thought I would share that with you all. And I will also say thank you to everybody, because the fact that I am able to do this is really because so many folks have placed their faith, trust, and confidence in our team and our ability to deliver. So thank you. We're having a great time. My brother's here with his kids too. So there are 7 kids. 4 of them are age 5 or younger. And then we got, I think 8, 9, and 12, which are trying to help round it out. But it's an adventure. So the grandparents have their hands full, but we're having a great time. So I'm going to get back to being a dad. We'll be back later this week, but it has been a great time stretching our legs. And we are doing the safety thing. I'm out socially distanced, obviously, here, but not to worry. Everybody's taking care of their health. So until next time, thanks as always. This is David Littlejohn. Catch you later.